So I wanted to show you guys a different program that I've run across that I think will make anytime we have to graph and draw, will make it a whole lot easier. We've tried doing the Jamboard stuff in the past, and those of you that are doing it are having trouble, getting the pictures drawn and it looking decent. But we're kind of limited with what we can do now. But um, this is free on your end. It's just an extension to Chrome that you'll have to add, and the directions should post with the assignment. It should be as simple as clicking the link and actually installing it, and then the assignment that I send out basically will just be a regular PDF file, but you're going to have this set of tools on the side that you wouldn't normally have. It's going to allow you to draw and type on top of a PDF, which you usually can't do because that type of document is not editable. But so what I wanted to do is just kind of show you a couple of the tools. We'll get into more of it kind of as we go, but for right now, so the document opens up and these graphs are kind of small. So the first thing I'm going to do is right up here, I'm going to zoom in. You can either hit the plus, you can type in, select one of these percentages, 200%. That's actually a pretty good size right there to work with. So this is a reflection. We're going to reflect this across the x-axis. So the first thing I need to do is go to my drawing tool, and you can play around with these different settings. The thickness of your pen, you might want to make that a little bit smaller. You can choose colors. I'm going to make this a 2-point, so I'll leave it as teal here. So I'm going to reflect this across the x-axis. So I'm going to count. The T is 4 units above the x-axis, so my reflection needs to be 2 units below. So we'll kind of scribble it in right there. S is 3 units above, so its reflection is going to be 3 units below. And U, there we go. Now, what some of you have tried to do in the past, and I do appreciate it, is you've tried to draw the lines with the mouse, which is really hard to keep straight. It's really hard to look good when you're done. This Cami, it's called Cami, by the way. I don't think I ever said that. This Cami program actually has the option, if you go under Shapes, for you to draw a line, which makes these, if I select that tool, again, you can change the color, do whatever you want here. I can actually draw a decent line, and it'll go point to point. Press and hold down and drag to where you want it to go, and it'll draw a nice, sharp, straight line. I think that's kind of neat. And then you've got your text tool, so you could go back and label your points. My S prime. I don't know why it doesn't put the point where I click, but whatever. I can drag these things around and put them pretty much wherever I want. And the nice thing about this, I know that you guys have probably done like some sort of overlay stuff like this before. With this Cami program, it's not just an overlay. So if I move this document, say I want to go over here and do number 2, so I scroll over to number 2, all of that stuff stays over at number 1. And when I zoom out, like let's say I were to go back to 100% here, 100%, all of my work is still there. So when you submit this to me, it's going to be this nice, sharp, single page. Even though you had to zoom way in, when you zoom out, it kind of adjusts itself so it looks nice. I'm going to erase my mark I made here. It's really user-friendly. There's a lot that we can do with this. I mean, you can add pictures into a document. If there's you take a picture of something, you need to submit that to me. I've got some really kind of cool ideas with this, especially if you think of like an algebra class where you have to, work out an equation or something. You guys could, write the problem down, take your picture, and you could insert your picture next to the work. I'm really kind of excited about how this is going to work out with us in a geometry class for graphing, though. Anytime you have to draw something in graph, this is going to hopefully make it really, really easy for us. So I'm going to try this one here, this translation. Again, the mapping here, it says, hey, move 2 to the right and 4 units up. So each point goes 2 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4 units up. I'm going to put my dot there, and I don't have to scribble with the mouse. 2 to the right and 1, 2, 3, 4 up. There's my new J. 2 to the right and 1, 2, 3, 4 up. I said J, I meant L. And then I'm going to go back and label these guys. Here's my new L. And then here is my new K. And why is that putting it so far up? Okay, new J. And I'm going to go back to this shape tool to draw a line. There to there. I don't know what all those numbers mean. And there to there. And I have a nice, neat copy of the original. Give this a try. I'm gonna post a very similar assignment. You follow the directions, it should open in Kami, and you should be able to do all of this stuff on it. I want to see nice, sharp pictures. Try and use the line tools, and let's just see how this one goes.